Your Honor, I would like to help you reconcile your relationship with your father, if
Okay.
it's okay with you.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Good luck to both of you. Thank you for coming in.
Thank you, brother.
Come up here. Come up here. I want to give you a hug. Come up here. Come up here.
Thank you so much.
Come here. Things will get
This guy's in court because his car was booted when he stopped paying for his tickets. It seemed like he intentionally ignored the fines, but his story in court clarifies what happened.
So basically in 2015, I was diagnosed with the genetic disease called Danon disease, which I was born with. I had no idea at the time. And what happened was I've been hospitalized in Boston Tough Medical Center. And because of that, that was like the reason why I wasn't able to, I forgot all about the payments, about the car of the fine, because I was too busy doing a lot of up and downs going from hospitals to hospitals.
Now, that was not the only medical emergency Leonardo had during his default in payments. Leo also had an organ transplant, signaling a severe health struggle.
Danon disease, it's a genetic disease that I get from my mother, because my mother's a carrier, which we didn't know at the time, but now because it's been 2 years since I have this, because I had a heart transplant in 2 years. So this will be my second year with a heart transplant.
He was actually the 38. He broke the record in Tough Medical Center. He was on TV. We almost lost him.
Leo was in court with his brother, who was with him throughout the struggles, and he narrated how it felt.
Prior to him getting his heart transplant, he was hospitalized for quite a bit. The machines is what kept him alive, pumping, because his heart was pumping at 5%.
Which is very, very low. It's not.
We completely forgot about the tickets, because going back and forth to Boston, I had to work 2 jobs just to support them, because my mom is disabled, he's disabled. We had to drive to Boston every other day, almost, or sometimes every day. Then I had to come back and go to work, go back again.
For these brothers, the experience was a very tough one. But there is another family member who is now facing some serious health challenges too.
I had to work 2 jobs, and now actually, believe it or not, my sister's going through it because it's a genetic disease that hasn't been shown in the United States over 50 years.
Judge Caprio was also touched by the story of these brothers facing a similar experience with their sister. The judge had some nice words for Leo's brother.
I mean, I had to work 2 jobs. I ended up having high blood pressure because of it, but you know, my brother's life, it's worth more than, you know.
In the dictionary, they have 2 words together. It's called family love.
I know.
And next to the definition of family love is a picture of you. That's the definition of family love. This is an absolutely compelling story.
Having a genetic disease coupled with the struggles of a heart transplant meant that Leo was one medical miracle. The effects of working 2 jobs and struggles of moving from Boston almost every day gave an impression of how caring his brother is to the family.
So I have to make a decision on what I'm going to do here. I don't have it in me to ask you for any money. I'm going to release the boot with no payment, and I'm going to dismiss the tickets.
Thank you.
And
Oh my God, thank you so much.
I wish you the best. I congratulate you. Right, your story has really moved me. It really has. Okay.
Despite going to court for 3 different tickets, this lady narrated a devastating story that brought out the humanity in Judge Caprio.
What's the name on the registration?
Well, I have 3. It's my stepsister, my friend, Melaides.
What's the name?
Well, I don't know. And one name, I know Amonte, which is a Pennsylvania plate.
Do you have Jacqueline Silverio?
That's me.
Okay, and then you have Maciel Almonte?
Yeah, that's my sister.
Sometimes, you can end up in court if court-worthy occurrences surround your move to a new city. This lady moved from Rhode Island, and the issues with her plate number resulted in this.
Well, you have an awful lot of tickets here, Jacqueline.
Yes. I moved to that address on June the 1st. I am not allowed to park in the parking lot because my plates is not from Rhode Island yet. I'm having a little issue of transferring my plate. and they told me that I could park in the streets. I've been parking there for the month, and then on June, I think it was like July the 15th, they just started giving tickets. My car is still parking in the street, and I haven't gotten a ticket.
Apart from the issues with her plate number and parking space, she had some real-life struggles while dealing with a devastating loss.
That was a difficult timing for me.
You've been having some difficult times?
Yeah, because I just lost a baby. I was 3 months pregnant and I lost the baby. So my friends were coming to visit me just to keep me like up notch. I've been very depressed over the loss of my baby because I only have one child and she's 17.
The lady had no choice but to deal with her issues and face life head on. Now, she decided to appear in court due to her tickets, despite comments from other people.
And when I came out pregnant, my whole family was excited and everything. For me to lose the baby at 3 months is devastating. So I'm still dealing with it. It's kind of tough for me because it's hard for me to see memories of my baby in my house. And on top of that I got the tickets. Everybody was getting tickets. It was on a weekend, and I'm like, listen.
The loss of a baby can affect a parent's mental health and general well-being, and this woman has been struggling before coming to court.
But it's been kind of hard for me these months because of that. Every time the day comes close to the day that I lost my baby, it's kind of hard. It happened on June the 24th, and they took out my baby on June the 28th.
The judge acknowledged the gravity of her struggles and extended his sympathy in what was going to be a very emotional episode.
Your story is very moving for me. I think all of us have a great deal of understanding and sympathy for you. You present yourself as just such a decent and honorable person.
Judge Caprio had to give a verdict based on the tickets and her statements in court, and he started by giving this scenario.
Ordinarily, in this case, if I were to make a decision ordinarily, the original fines were $460. Mm-hmm. I probably would have reduced that ordinarily to like $200. But I don't have it in my heart to do that to you.
Before giving a final verdict of the fine to be paid in this case, Judge Caprio announced some kind gestures received by the show from fans worldwide.
I have the fortune to reach people all over this country, actually all over the world, through social media and through television. And some of the stories here are so compelling that people who are very generous, who have good hearts and understanding, have sent in checks saying, please use these for someone who you think is worthy of consideration.
Now, Judge Caprio realized that she needed all the support she could get, considering her devastating loss, and he also extended his generosity courtesy of notable donors.
So I have a check from someone from Illinois, from Downers Grove, Illinois, from a Miki and Howard Hansen, and also from Sterling Heights, Minnesota, from an Euclid Doko, who owns a business called Amazing Force. They both have sent in a check for $100 and asked me to use it for someone who I think is worthy. So I'm going to use their generosity to pay for your fines. I'm going to reduce the fines to $200.
Thank you.
That seemed to be the end, but Judge Caprio decided to have a moment with her as a show of solidarity after her loss.
Come up here. Come up here. I want to give you a hug. Come up here. Come up here.
Thank you so much.
Things will get.
When you hear of someone with as many tickets as this man, you have the impression that he needs to be taught a lesson. But can a person intentionally have this many tickets to his name?
How many parking tickets do you think you've had?
Oh gosh, I don't know. Probably about 80.
80?
Yeah.
He thinks he had 80 parking tickets then.
It's probably more than that. I'm just
He had
guessing.
101.
Is it? Yeah, I was close. 101.
Okay.
This man's reaction and demeanor in court give an impression that he is actually enjoying his current situation. However, he soon narrated what was going on in his life, which changed the look of things.
Yeah, the car is no longer operational, and I'm no longer in that. I'm in the shelter rescue mission.
Oh, you're not working?
No, I'm working, but I I'm homeless. So,
How long is that going on?
about 3 months,
Yeah.
roughly.
Apart from being homeless, this man explained that he was adopted and had no family members. Almost immediately after saying this, Judge Caprio brought in his friend, Martino.
You're homeless right now.
Yes, I am. Yeah.
You said something earlier that in your earlier life you were adopted, right?
Yes, I was. And my foster mother, my adopted mother, had passed away. So her family members were particularly not my family members in their own, demeanor.
Now, Judge Caprio invited Martino Anthony, who is involved with a charity called wigsandwishes.org, where they grant wigs and wishes to women and children battling cancer. However, Martino was also adopted, and this was the primary reason why Judge Caprio invited him.
When I was 11, well, I knew I was adopted my whole life. My mom told me when I was really little that you were special and I chose you. But when I was 11, there was a movie that came out called An American Tale. And it was about a little mouse that lost his family. And the moral of the story was never say never. And at the end, he found his family.
Martino embarked on a quest to search for his birth parents, which lasted for 22 years. How did he later find them?
And one day I sat before somebody who didn't wear a badge under their robe. They wore a heart. And I found my birth mother and I found my birth father. And I had a great relationship with him for 13 years before he passed away.
Judge Caprio felt Martino was in the best position to motivate the man with 101 tickets due to his experience with family. After that, it was time for the judge to give a verdict on the man's fine.
I'm going to charge you $40, but you're not going to pay it. Right? I'm going to pay this $40 out of a fund I call the Philomena Fund. And we're talking about mothers. My mother's name was Philomena. And people send in charitable donations to this court for me to use my discretion to help people I think are in need.
Now, that's one very generous gesture from Judge Caprio, who was always quick to extend his generosity to those in need. The judge needed to ask about this man's family and ascertain if he had met his birth parents.
So have you found out who your mom is, your real mom?
My mother passed away before I could ever meet her. And I'm currently trying to seal a relationship with my father, who's out in Maryland. So,
Well, we wish you the best. We wish you the best.
thank you.
Lastly, Judge Caprio asked Martino for advice to help the man with his birth parents and family. This also allowed Martino to extend a hand and help the man.
Your Honor, I would like to help you reconcile your relationship with your father, if it's okay with you.
Yeah, sure. Thank you.
Good luck to both of you. Thank you for coming in.
Thank you, brother.